Before people tell me that I'm wrong and that Lance is only in Formula 1 because his daddy made it happen for him, I want to go through why I do believe that Lance Stroll is indeed a good driver. So let's first look at his career before Formula 1. He won the 2014 Italian Formula 4 Championship despite not participating in the final 3 races of the season due to injury. He's also the 2015 Toyota Racing Series champion, and in 2016 he achieved his biggest accomplishment outside of Formula 1 by winning the Formula 3 European Championship, in which he won by a whopping 187 points, which I believe is the biggest championship gap in Formula 3 history. This championship also featured current Formula 1 drivers such as George Russell and Lando Norris, even though Lando was only a guest driver, therefore he was ineligible to win that season. We'll now talk about Stroll's career in Formula 1. So in Stroll's rookie season, he finished 12th, and he was outscored by a well-accomplished teammate in Felipe Massa by only 3 points. Stroll scored 40 points while Felipe Massa scored 43 points, which was enough for him to finish 10th in the championship. However, Stroll was also outraced by Massa 13-6 in the 19 races they raced as teammates, which doesn't obviously look as good. But in fairness, Stroll did have an extra 2 retirements than Massa, albeit that Massa didn't race at Hungary as well. And most of those retirements were through no fault of his own. Perhaps the only one where you could blame Stroll a little bit was perhaps the collision that he had with Carlos Sainz at the 2017 Bahrain Grand Prix. And of course, perhaps still his best drive to date happened that season, where he claimed 3rd place and the final podium spot and in Azerbaijan to clinch his first career podium, which not many Formula 1 drivers get to do, albeit he did get that podium in beneficial circumstances, thanks to Vettel's penalty and Hamilton's headrest problem, which was a unique problem in itself. But still, a very magnificent achievement nonetheless. There have been great drivers as well, which we must not forget, who were in the sport a long time, like Nico Hülkenberg, who have never finished on the podium. So Stroll's podium should be allowed to hold great significance for his career. Stroll's second season saw him comfortably beat teammate Sergei Sirotkin 6 points to 1 and saw him finish 18th in the championship in what was a very disappointing season overall for Williams, and as points scored for the team was very low, this may not be the best method to look at here. So let's instead look at head-to-head race finishes. Stroll took that out racing Sirotkin 11 times to 9, with both retiring at Hockenheim. Additionally, Stroll's average finishing position is 13.84 compared to Sirotkin's 14.83. So Stroll, in my opinion, with the evidence presented here, had the better season than Sirotkin. Also, don't forget that Stroll did manage to beat Brendan Hartley in the championship with the worst car on the grid, and I think that should be looked at as an achievement of sorts. Last season, in 2019, was arguably Stroll's toughest season yet, at least in comparison to teammate Sergio Perez, as Stroll was indeed in a better car compared to 2018. Stroll was second best for a lot of the year, where he was plagued with inconsistency. He finished 15th with 21 points compared to Perez, who finished 10th with 52 points. Stroll also only managed to beat Perez in 2019 races 5 times, with 2 of those additionally being due to Perez retiring. Admittingly, Stroll does have a glaring weakness, and that is his poor qualifying record for his career. I know that what happens on race day matters a whole lot more than what happens on a Saturday, but it is still important to qualify as high up the grid as possible. In 2017, he was pummeled by Massa in the qualifying count 17-2, and additionally was an average of over 6/10 back to his teammate in quali. 2018 wasn't much better, as he got out-qualified in the season by rookie teammate Sirotkin 12 times to 8, but Stroll did fare way better in the average gap to his teammate, being back on average of just 0.07 of a second. But the fact that he was beaten by a rookie teammate, and a rookie teammate that only lasted 1 year in Formula 1, is a big concern. 2019 was better in my opinion, even though he lost out big time to teammate Perez in the head-to-head count 18-2, but he was just over a tenth behind on average. This proves that despite getting beaten head-to-head badly, Stroll was able to keep up with Perez for the most part, even though Perez himself actually doesn't have the best career head-to-head qualifying stats himself. Stroll is currently ahead of head-to-head qualifying against Perez this season, actually 2-1, and has on average set a better average time over 3 rounds so far. So it will be interesting to see if he can sustain this year and see if he can keep turning the corner for qualifying performances in his career. Furthermore, for the first 3 races of 2020, Stroll only finds himself 4 points behind Perez, and if it weren't for his engine failing at the opening race, then he'd probably be ahead of Perez right now and could have so easily been in the top 5 of the championship, with help of course from a far better car this year. Another factor that people forget is that while this will be Stroll's 5th season in Formula 1, he is still only 21 years old and he is still younger than the likes of Charles Leclerc, George Russell and Max Verstappen, so he will have a lot of opportunity to still learn and grow as a Formula 1 driver. From the evidence stated above, I think it's more than fair to say that Lance Stroll has earned his race seat in Formula 1. Yes, he has definitely had more financial backing than most, but regardless of being backed by his dad who happens to own the team, he has proven that he is worthy of a place in Formula 1. He may have some flaws for sure, but I only expect him to keep improving, and he could be in for a great 2020 season and a great future in Formula 1 if Aston Martin keep Racing Point's great improvements so far. Leave a like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Thank you very much for watching.